So, hello again to another book review. Today we're going to talk about Bound to Please by Simon Aronson. And this book is an all-time classic. I'm very lucky to have it because it's basically a collection of some of his best tricks. There are 4 books bound into one single volume. The books are letters from Kabbalah, the card ideas of Simon Aronson, shuffleboard, and the stack to remember. All of these 4 books are great. They're not fully contained within the pages of this book. However, every book alone that it is within the collection deserves the price of the entire thing. So the book is 179 pages long, hardcover, as most of the books, as all of the books that I have reviewed so far. And we can kick things off, starting from Kabbalah, which is the first chapter of the book. It has here 3 tricks. That's all it has in the first chapter. You learn a very valuable principle of the interlocking chains, which allows you to keep track of a memorized deck, even though it has been shuffled by a spectator. A wonderful tool to use, and I have seen many people experimenting with that using the Gilbert principle, as well as the interlocking chain principle, which is described in this book. Fun fact about Simon is you're always going to find the best trick of the book at the end. Then the next chapter after Kabbalah is the card ideas of Simon Aronson. In this chapter, a lot of the effects have been marketed and they're available for sale, and they are all more gimmicky. What I mean by that is you will need an invisible tag, you will need double backers and double facers, you will need some 2-sided guff cards. You will also need a 4-way forcing deck. There's so many guff decks in this chapter, and heavy stack decks, as well as gimmicks. So this chapter is hard to do if you're a beginner. Probably you won't have gathered so many stuff in order to be able to do the tricks, such as the gimmicks that I mentioned before. So also 2 tricks from this chapter for your so you can understand a little bit how they feel. I found this video of the trick I did a couple of years ago when I first acquired the book, and it's a prediction. So the spectator, as you can see, can stop at any point. All the cards are shown. So he stopped there, and so he knows that they are all different. And if I remember correctly, I presented this effect as a bet. That's why I have my wallet here, as you can see. And I bet that I could find the card, and if I don't, he will take all the money in my wallet. I show the wallet, to give him money, but I found the card. Let's move to the next one. In this one, I have 2 decks, a red and a blue one. So the spectator will choose one of the decks, and he or she will cut it. Okay, and I will take the other one. In the video, just give the red one, but it doesn't really matter. It's a free choice. So I'm gonna take a card from the blue pack and leave it face down into the deck. And that would be my choice. I will ask the spectator to do the same, to choose a card and put it somewhere into the deck. I turn the other way, and now I emphasize the fact that I have chosen the card first, so there is no possibility for me to know what card would she have turned over. So now we're gonna take a look at the face down cards to see which ones they are. And I have chosen the 4 of clubs, and when I open the red deck, it will be the 4 of clubs. Really no slides at all in this one. Very, very good trick. Very clean. Then we have another chapter within the chapter. Two decks effects. Two deck effects, also ideas for the memorized deck. In this chapter, it gives you ways to memorize it, tips to keep it fresh in your memory after long periods of time, and a lot of stuff that are going to be useful for the mem deck worker, such as a peak and stuff like that. Moving on, we go to the other book of this book, which is a stack to remember. Here we go over the Aronson stack, which is the second most popular stack in the world. It is a memorized deck that Simon Aronson has put in a memorizable order. However, it looks entirely shuffled. But the Aronson stack is my personal favorite, even though I know that I use the mnemonica because this is the one I learned first. The Aronson, however, if I can go back in time, I would probably choose that one because it has a built-in card cheating demonstration system, and the book goes over the variety of games that this can be used, from blackjack, stud poker, five-handed, Texas Hold'em, breed, and she has a trick. For each of those has one trick described in the book, and they are extremely easy and very convincing. So I believe it's a good idea to go for a memorized deck that actually has some built-in functions, and that will help you do other stuff as well. The Aronson's stack has this built-in card cheating type of stack, in which the spectator can call any hand for any game of poker, and you can actually find it in the deck without requiring estimation techniques, controls. It's very easy and it's very fulfilling. And lastly, we're gonna go to the final chapter of the book, Shuffleboard. Usually Simon Aronson puts out the greatest at the end of his books. And this particular one, to my opinion, it is the second best self-working card trick ever. Second only to Out of This World. So Shuffleboard is the following effect. I will just let Simon Aronson do it for us. It is definitely worth your time.
You know, one of the key elements of doing magic is knowing how people will behave. For example, imagine how valuable it would be to a magician to know beforehand how people will shuffle the cards. Well, that information is so crucial to magicians that magicians have in fact commissioned a study, a market research study on random shuffles. We have had this study did thousands of random shuffles just to see how people will shuffle cards. Now the results of this are amazingly accurate, and I'd like to show you because we could do one more random shuffle study just right here now. I've been shuffling the cards; they look pretty random, but let's just get rid of the joker. Frank, will you help me?
Yes.
Okay. The rules of cards basically say it's good to try to shuffle them on the table. You can try to do that, okay? And can you do that? Okay, you can maybe just shuffle those on the table. Now, these are sort of random shuffles. I certainly am not controlling them, but we want to really randomize the deck. That's perfectly fine. Good. Nobody would. That's a good random shuffle. Great. Now, so what we'll do is this. Okay. Whoa. Okay. On the table. That's why. Let's keep them on the table. Okay. Now, so far these cards have been randomly shuffled, but we want to get some shuffles between them. So, would you just cut your deck in half and turn? Okay, that's good. Fine. And turn over either pile, whichever one you want. Great. Frank, same thing. Cut it in half and turn over either pile. Good. Now why don't we just swap piles? And Frank, we're going to shuffle these cards face up into yours, and we'll shuffle yours over there. Now you might think that I did something when I did that, so why don't you keep them on the table, just give them a good random shuffle. That's good. And Frank, do the same. Give them a good shuffle. We're mixing these cards totally random. Face up, face down cards. Nobody knows how many cards are face up, how many cards are face down, which cards are where. Have we got that? Great. Now, but we said we wanted to combine the whole deck and do one random shuffle of the deck. Susie, why don't you turn one half over? Turn that over, okay? The whole half over, the whole half, okay? And why don't you shuffle those two together?
Okay.
Perfect. Now you've got to admit, this is a random sample of shuffling. As a matter of fact, if we were any more random, the cards would be on the floor. Now let's just see how well this study is. This study was so precise that it was done at 3 different demographic levels. You see, the first demographic level over here is demographic level 1, the general population at large. And this study says that over 50% of the people will randomly shuffle exactly 23 face-up cards. We had no idea how you were going to shuffle or which cards you'd be turning face up or which ones you'd be exchanging. But let's see, 23 cards face up. Let's just check how close that study is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Amazing. But you know something? This study went further because magicians weren't just interested in the general population at large. No, we are interested in a much more precise audience. That is, audiences watching magic. So at demographic level number 2, this study studied all the shuffles of audiences watching magic and found that over 75% will randomly shuffle so that the face-up pile has 16 black cards. You guys are pretty random, don't you? Well, let's just take. It said 16 black cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Exactly 16 black cards. But you know something? You know something? Magicians wanted to know something even more precise because it's nice to know about audiences watching magic. But what about the 2 people who actually come from the audience, come out there and come up here to help us? Well, we went to demographic level number 3. And at demographic level number 3, it's discriminating intelligent helpers. You see? And this study found that of the discriminating intelligent helpers, 99.3% will randomly shuffle so that the face-up red cards are all hearts. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. Oh. Well, you know, well,
It's a 99.3.
99, exactly. You see, you know, wait a minute. Because, first of all, this study was, I think the result here is because that's for discriminating intelligent helpers. No, wait, I can't say that. These guys obviously were discriminating and intelligent enough to come and help me. I think what it is that all statistics leave a little bit of room for error. It's wiggle room. You see, there is room for a margin of error, and even though we missed on the 6 of diamonds, I believe this study did say that there was a room for the 6 of diamonds.
That was it. insane trick. I have no words to describe it. The first time I saw it, I was completely full. I still remember the day which I saw it for the first time. Um, the the chapter contains a lot of variations. What I've shown you now is the one that Simon Aronson cuts the deck. Of course, the spectators can count the deck as long as you have multiple outs. There is also, it can be used for gambling demonstration, for many, many things. Here is as a prediction, which is my personal favorite. But there are so many variations of shuffleboard, and Simon gives you some of his ideas on that. And it's up to you, of course, to make it fit your style of card magic. I believe this trick is for everyone because it can be really modified to be whatever you want it to be. So that sums it up. That was Bound to Please by Simon Aronson. This book is a beginner for like 60% and intermediate for like 40%. It is intermediate because I cannot fathom that the beginner would actually go ahead and memorize the deck in order, like 52 cards and give them numbers. That's not something beginners do. That's why I don't think this book is for beginners. However, when it comes to sleight of hand difficulty, it is beginner level. But let's put it on intermediate because it has a lot of gimmicks that beginners cannot find, and it requires a memorized deck. So, intermediate level for me. Excellent book and an all-time classic. So, I hope this review gave you some insights about the book. And thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great day. See you in the next one.